Welcome to The Rest of the Moose,
Where's the rest of this moose?
a podcast about anything and everything.
You must have hated this moose.
Here's your host, Chris Grum.
And we're going to do a little bit of a double dip on this Friday. A little bit earlier, I dropped my review of Funny Girl at the Hobby Center. But also today is another big day for musical theater, and it's bittersweet. And I wanted to do a podcast about this because this is something worth drawing attention to and worth sharing with everybody. There's a gentleman named Aaron Lazar who is a Broadway performer. I've had the privilege of seeing Aaron in several shows. I believe the first time that I saw him was on Broadway in A Little Night Music, and this would have been, going on maybe a little bit more than 10 years ago. I went to see the show, to be honest with you, because Angela Lansbury was going to be in it. And then Catherine Zeta-Jones was cast as well. She was the one that got to sing Send in the Clowns. And it's a Sondheim show, and I love Sondheim, and I'd never seen it on stage. But Aaron Lazar was in this production, and I was absolutely mesmerized by his performance. I had never heard of him before, and there he is on the stage with these powerhouses. And, you normally go and you think they're going to outshine everybody, and he was memorable in that. Then I also saw him in a concert production of Company, another Sondheim show, with Neil Patrick Harris, and my gosh, the cast in that, Stephen Colbert singing, interestingly enough, in a Broadway show. Patti LuPone was in that show. John Cryer was in that show. It was a concert production of Company that they did for one weekend only with the New York Philharmonic over at Lincoln Center. So I saw Aaron in that. I saw him in the national tour of Dear Evan Hansen as Larry Murphy. Les Miserables, I've seen him in Phantom of the Opera as Raoul. And so I was familiar with his work and have always followed his career, because when I see an actor or an actress in Broadway that I am impressed by, I always like to see, what are they going to do next? Are they going to come to Houston at another show? Or will there be something on Broadway that I want to go see? So I've been following his career, and I guess it was about a year and a half ago that the news came out that Aaron has been diagnosed with ALS, which is perhaps better known as Lou Gehrig's disease. And it was, you could hear a pin drop in the Broadway community when that announcement was made. And one of the things that the Broadway community is phenomenal for is anytime that there is a cause that needs championing, they step up, and they step up in numbers. They will drop what they're doing. They will take their one day off and go do whatever they have to do to support that person or that cause. And they have all rallied around Aaron and are, there to be his moral support. And so I don't know who came up with the idea. Aaron may have already been planning on doing an album, but he came up with the idea of doing an album called Impossible Dream. And it is a 9-track album. And in fact, I'm going to pull up on my computer the album. Just to give you an idea of some of the tracks, I'd Give It All for You with Aaron and Kate Baldwin, who's another big Broadway name. When You Believe with Aaron and Norm Lewis, who I've seen in a couple of different things. Norm is a phenomenal singer. I've seen him in Porgy and Bess. And I also had the privilege of seeing him on Broadway in Phantom of the Opera. He was the first African-American to play the Phantom on Broadway. Aaron Lazar and Rebecca Luker in I Am Loved. Aaron with Leslie Odom Jr. from Hamilton. He was the original Burr, singing Get Happy and Happy Days Are Here Again. Kelly O'Hara, who is a phenomenal Broadway talent, with Aaron and Make Our Garden Grow. Fight the Dragons with Aaron and Neil Patrick Harris. The incredible staple that you used to hear on the Jerry Lewis Telethon every year, You'll Never Walk Alone, which comes from Carousel, with Aaron and Lauren Allred. And Lauren, if you don't know the name, is the singer that sang the voice work on Greatest Showman for, I'll think of the song in a moment, Never Enough. Never, never, never enough. And she was also on America's Got Talent. Incredible singer. Then Let Your Soul Be Your Pilot, Aaron and Josh Groban. And then the final song, track number 9, is the one that I wanted to focus on today. For those of you that are friends with me on Facebook, you can see this video posted. If you're not friends with me on Facebook and listening to this, just go to YouTube and search Broadway for ALS, Aaron Lazar, The Impossible Dream. Now, for those of you not familiar with that particular song, it's the title track from the album. The Impossible Dream comes from the musical Man of La Mancha. And Man of La Mancha is a musical that is set in a prison during basically the Spanish Inquisition. And Miguel Cervantes is one of the prisoners in the prison, trying to keep the other prisoners who are, quite frankly, just waiting for their death day, trying to keep them entertained by telling them these incredible stories. And one of them is, of course, Don Quixote, who was the man who jousted the windmills, and the story of Don Quixote told through Man of La Mancha. And the song that he sings is a song called The Impossible Dream. And one of the lyrics I wrote this in my Facebook post, incredibly appropriate for what Aaron is battling and anybody with ALS is battling. The song Impossible Dream is about continuing on even when you think it's hopeless and even when you think there's no reason to do so. And part of the lyrics are I'm going to back up and think of the exact part I want to say. The song is subtitled The Quest. So the lyrics that really apply to me are, this is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to be willing to fight without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And that describes exactly what has happened on this particular album. And the names that I named already are impressive. But when you watch the video and listen to this song, and I'm going to play just a snippet here because for copyright reasons, I can't play the whole song. I'm going to play just a snippet here for you. But the names on this song alone are the ones that I mentioned already. Everybody that I mentioned, plus Kristen Chenoweth, Neil Patrick Harris, Josh Groban, Sting makes an appearance. Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote and performed in Hamilton. The names go on and on and on here. These incredible people all came together, and when you see them in the room, Christy Altomar, one of my favorite Broadway performers, is in this. There are probably 100 voices in that room that all came together on one day to record this song. And the proceeds, by the way, benefit Broadway for ALS and then also go towards Aaron's fight. And there's a link on there, and I'll repeat it here. It's tinyurl.com/Aaron Lazar, and it's AARONLAZAR. You can go there and purchase the CD, the vinyl, or a digital download. Yes, I know we can get these for free these days. Throw out the $15, $20 and let it go for something good. They also have an ability for you to pay a little bit more, and the money goes to charity, and you'll get an autographed copy, or you'll get other benefits for being able to donate more. So if you can, please do, because I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to play just a snippet of this song. And when you hear This Is My Quest, that is Aaron singing himself. But the superstars on this thing are just incredible. That's Shoshana Bean, Elphaba in Wicked, among other roles. Adrienne Warren and Kelly O'Hara. And then here comes Aaron.
This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless.
That's Norm Lewis. And I'm telling you, and then Leslie Odom Jr. right now, I'm telling you, take the time, the 5 minutes to watch that video, and it will leave you in tears. It will leave you inspired, and you'll see the journey that one man and a bunch of other people propping him up are taking in that battle for ALS. And I wanted to talk about this today because today is the day that his album is released. Please do myself and more importantly, the ALS community and Aaron a favor. Go download this CD. You will love the music on it, and you'll do a lot of good by downloading it. Once again, tinyurl.com/Aaron Lazar, AARONLAZAR. And to Aaron, who I've had the privilege of meeting at the Stage Door a couple of times, fight the fight, my man. I wish you nothing but the best.
You've been listening to the Rest of the Moose podcast, hosted by Chris Grum.
Why don't you forget the moose for a moment?
Previous episodes are available online at chrisgrum.com. See you next time for the Rest of the Moose.